Hooray, hooray! It's time for the 20-minute bookworm-themed workout. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is for everybody who loves to read and or write books, which includes me. So I've been very excited to put out this series. It's especially near and dear to my heart. The first move we'll be doing will be pacing runs or jogs. So probably more like jogging. So you'll be going at a slow or moderate pace for 4 seconds and then sprinting for 4 seconds, and you just switch back and forth between those two paces. Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is a reference to how pacing in books can be a pretty tricky part of writing them. And in pretty much any story. If you've ever read a story or watched a movie or anything like that that felt like it was moving too slowly or too quickly during certain parts or throughout the whole thing, that's a pacing issue. You need to be able to, the greatest stories use those slow moments and those fast moments interchangeably and with a way that keeps people engaged and interested in what happens next and interested in getting to know the characters. Next will be deadlift tips to hops. So you will tip forward. I like to lift one leg and then the other, alternating between them. You don't have to do that if for whatever reason that's not doable for you or it's just uncomfortable, but in any case, as you come up, give us a little hop, and try not to let your leg touch the floor if you are bringing it up behind you like I am. That's just for it as an extra challenge. Just do whatever's comfortable for you. So this, of course, is a reference to the rising and falling action in a story, which is in many ways related to pacing. Plot and pinch point plyos. So basically with this move you're going to be doing basically scissor lunges, except that you don't have to go quite as deep. I mean, you can if you want to, but and going back and forth like so, exactly like that. So this is a reference to plot points and pinch points. You may often see them in a graph showing how a story should be plotted. A plot point is something that happens in the story that propels it forward, or it just significantly alters the course of the adventure or the story. And a pinch point is a huge event that reminds you how high the stakes are, or raises the stakes even higher, or reveals something terrifying about the antagonist, things like that. And you'll often see them graphed in a wavy line with plot points at the top, pinch points at the bottom. So basically what you were doing is that you were making that graph and those points with your feet. Next up, panther squats. So you'll go into a deep squat and then come up quickly. And if you want to, like me, you can pretend you're pulling up your pants. Ha! Just like that. As you can see, I'm adding a little hop. You can leave the hop out, or just rise up on your toes. So for those who are readers but not really writers, and if you've never heard of a pantser, that's basically a writer who basically improvs the story from start to finish, as opposed to having a definitive outline to follow. And yes, every writer, just about, might deviate from their outline or change a little bit as they go along, because there's just no way to totally predict everything that is going to happen in a story or how it should go. But pantsers don't even try. That's their whole thing. Flash forward jumps and flashback shuffles. So that should be fairly self-explanatory. Just jump forward and shuffle back. If you can stay lower on your legs than I am during the shuffle backs, even better. Work out those leg muscles even more, raise up the heart rate even more. Anyway, so flash forwards and flashbacks are very common literary devices. They both serve to give context to the present, to what's happening presently in the story, and to reveal things that you might not have already known about the characters or the world or where the story's going, basically. All right, and we are back to the top with pacing runs. In my opinion, okay, get ready and start. In my opinion, pacing is one of the toughest things to get right in a story. And I think that's partially because I think it's one of the most objective aspects of it. Some people prefer a story that goes a little bit slower. Other people want something that's just fast-paced all the way through. Okay, we're done with this. Now we move on. Things that can affect pacing include like descriptions of characters or worlds, or focusing a lot of time on fleshing out characters. You know, you have to have a balance of the two. The way that you construct sentences can also affect it. Sometimes you want long ones, sometimes you want short ones. It's very tricky, and I think it takes a long time to get the feel for it. All right, back to deadlift hops. And again, as I said, I think that pacing is very closely related to rising and falling action. You may remember from high school English classes, rising action is when things are happening in the story that are basically causing everything to build up toward a climax. And the falling action is basically the aftermath of the climax. You're tying up loose ends or just lulling the readers into a false sense of security before you start raising the action again. And that has a lot to do with pacing. Plot and pinch point plyos. Once again, you are making that wavy graph with your feet. I don't know if, to me it's pretty easy to imagine that there's a wavy graph, a wavy line, if you will, on the floor underneath my feet, and that my feet are creating the plot and pinch points on the as it rises and falls. But maybe that's just me. In any case, I enjoy this move because it's hopping. Another one of my favorite things to do while working out. I mean, it's just fun. It's like a cheerful move. And we are back to the pantser squats. So I am guessing, or at least I'm hoping, that these workouts will reach both readers and writers. If you are a writer who is a pantser, please tell me your strategy for being an effective pantser. I am very much an outliner. And again, I almost never stick precisely to an outline. What feels right during the outlining stage doesn't always end up turning out quite the way that you expect in the reality of the writing process. But I'm definitely not a pantser. So I'd like to hear, if you are, why and how does that work for you? Talk to me. All right, all done. Next we have the flash forward jumps and flashback shuffles once again. I think that although flash forwards and flashbacks are, again, pretty common in literature and also in media in general, it can, I think it can be tricky to pull off well. Sometimes it just comes off as very corny, in my opinion. Or sometimes writers rely on it too much to explain what's happening in the present. But, I mean, I've used them. There are plenty of stories that I like that use them. It's just another one of those things that I think is tricky. Writing is very definitely an art form that takes a lot of practice. Okay. Now we are on to the plot twist circuit. Woohoo! This was fun. I enjoy moves with twists in them. It works out your obliques, and it just shakes things up a little bit. So first you're gonna lunge forward on just one leg, just one side, and then twist toward the lunging leg. Just like that. You don't have to have your arms up like that. That's just how I do it. It just comes naturally to me, but you can hold them out at your sides. You can just leave them dangling at your sides. The point here is burning the muscles in your legs and your obliques. And please keep your knee perpendicular to the floor and try not to let your back knee touch the floor so that you don't bump it or hurt it, and so that you're still keeping tension there. All right, more lunges with plot twists on the other side. And if you feel like it, please dance with me. All right. While we're on the topic of plot twists, tell me what your favorite plot twists have been in books that you have read or other stories that you have experienced, or your least favorite plot twists. Like many other things with writing, plot twists can be really, really tricky. You know, you don't want to make people feel blindsided, but it does have to come as a total surprise also. It's like you gotta have the most subtle of breadcrumb trails to pull it off. Okay, next is hop or plot twists. So you'll just be hopping with your legs together and turning your body from side to side as much as you can. For this one, you should probably also feel it in your obliques. Well, of course, this whole circuit is about twisting, so you should feel all of them in your obliques to some degree. If you're uncomfortable with hopping for any reason, just twist your upper body back and forth, or if you can just step from side to side really quickly, that would work too. And you can keep your arms down at your sides if you'd like, or you can throw them up in the air like you just don't care. Okay, and done. Next up will be plot twist knee-ups and kicks. So you'll focusing on just one side of your body for each repetition of this move. Bring up your knee and then touch it with your opposite elbow, and then kick your leg up and touch it with the opposite hand, just like that. Pretty simple. Although if you are uncomfortable lifting up your leg that high for whatever reason, just keep it to knee-ups. It's perfectly fine. And although I did not hop for this one, it would be another great opportunity to hop as you're bringing your leg up. I should have hopped. Hopping is fun. And also, even though this is the plot twist circuit, if it's hurting you in any way to twist this much, twist less or just lift your leg. All right, now we're doing that same move on the other side. And now you might be like, here's a plot twist, Ari. I don't like you right now. That's okay, that's fair. I get it. If you don't want to hop, but you want to raise your heart rate a little higher, just try doing this one faster. I think it's pretty tough to actually hit the foot as you are bringing it up. I'm not sure that I actually ever did it. I just reached for it. You know, because it's not like a stretch where it's so deliberate and slow. You know, you're moving fast. If you can actually touch your foot when you pick it up, cookies for you. Okay, back to the top of that circuit. Lunges with plot twists. It's kind of fun to think of this as a physical representation of a plot twist. It can be tough and uncomfortable. Maybe more so than you might expect, but so good. At least they should be good. I want to talk about famous plot twists, or like some of my favorite plot twists in books that I have read, but I'd be concerned about spoilers. I will say that one of the most famous plot twists that probably most of the world knows at this point would be in And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. First time that I experienced that plot twist, it just blew my mind, and I'll never forget it. It was breathtaking to me. Other side. I think another great example of a plot twist is in the short story that most of us read in middle school or high school, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. It gets steadily more terrifying as you move along through the story until you get to the end and find out what they're doing, and then you're just like, what is going on? This is horrible! That is a plot twist. If you've seen the movie Gone Girl, maybe you've also read the book. The plot twist in there, in that story, also shocking. Back to those hot plot twists. I think that there's also Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Honestly, I feel like I should have seen that plot twist coming, but I really didn't. Keep going. Even if you've only hopped for some of it, but you feel like you can't hop all of it, that's perfectly fine. Just switch to a lower impact version. Maybe your plot twist is that you gotta do the low impact. Alright, back to those plot twist knee-ups and kicks. Get ready, get set, go, and remember you're only doing one side of your body. You know, I remember seeing a picture, I don't remember where, but I did download it. So I have it always as a reminder. I think it's a great visual presentation of what a plot twist is like. It was like a carton of orange juice or some kind of juice. Maybe it was even milk, but I think it was juice. Not that it matters. Okay, and done with that. Hey, this is going to be your last 40 seconds coming up. Plot twisted knee-ups and kicks on the other side. Anyway, as I was saying, it's a carton of some kind of liquid that one would consume, and it had like a cap on one end of it. But rather than opening the carton with the cap, they had opened it from the side. And I should find that and maybe try to share it. I'll try to remember to do that. But I think that in a way that can be a great visual of what a plot twist is like. It's the solution that is unexpected, or just the method that is unexpected. Maybe it's not even the one that makes the most sense, but it's the one that happens, because stories are about people who do irrational things sometimes. All right! Congratulations, you did it! You are the toughest bookworm ever! Speaking of bookworms, crawl out and bring one foot forward. So you're basically holding that lunge and twisting toward the supporting leg. I'm sorry, I'm not sure why my phone's camera was doing that. I love this stretch because I feel it everywhere, especially my hips, which always seem to need it the most. And it's a twist, so we're still doing plot twists. Switching. We're almost done here. I hope you are feeling awesome. As awesome as you might feel after reading a really emotionally exhaustive book. Like that same exhaustion, but physical. Okay. Cliffhanger stretch is what I call this one. Cliffhanger is another literary device to keep people at the edge of their seats, or a cliff, as you will. Try your best to reach the floor. Up and ta-da! I hope you loved that as much as a book that you have read recently. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. Thank you!